This is Franklin Frith, General Manager and Principal of Human Resources Mexico, and today we're with Marisol Perez, our Human Resources Manager, Payroll Manager. Today you're going to discuss is a salary increase mandatory in Mexico, correct?
Yes.
All right, let's go, Marisol. Let's do it.
Yes, that's the question. Is the wage increase mandatory in Mexico? And there is nothing in the law that forces the employer to give an increase to employees that earns more than the minimum wage. This is very confusing because some employees has claimed to us or their employers to increase the salary every year, but this only applies for the employees that earn the minimum wage. The minimum wage is updated every year in January 1st, and so if you earn more than that, it is not mandatory for your employer to do that. In practice, some companies has policies, the compensation policies, that state that every year they will increase maybe 3 or 5%, or maybe if you negotiate this prior to your employment contract and this is stated in your only, that's the way that your employer is obligated to increase your salary. But if you earn more than the minimum wage salary, it is not mandatory for the employer. The minimum wage for this year is 102 pesos and 176 pesos for the northern border.
Per day, so 102 pesos daily salary rate, minimum wage in Mexico, everywhere but the border area, and we can define the border area at another time, but the border region is 176 pesos daily, okay? Daily. So at today's exchange rate, let's say 18, they're about, you're talking about 10 bucks a day, US dollars, is the border region minimum wage.
Yes, if you earn that daily pay rate, you will be increased every year. But if you earn more than that, it is not mandatory for the employer to increase. Very good.
Okay, in summary, Marisol is saying that unlike many other countries, let's use the United States as an example because that's the bulk of the comparisons. It's customary in the United States to provide an inflationary adjustment every year of an inflation-based wage increase. Obviously, it's not a law. Same goes for Mexico. As an employer, we can increase wages whenever we want. I mean, that's not a problem. But what Marisol is saying is there are no laws providing your employee is making more than the minimum wage. There are no laws in Mexico stating that you as an employer or we as an employer need to increase salaries. Obviously, from a business standpoint, if you know inflation's running at between 3 and 5% year after year after year, and your employee hasn't received a wage increase in 3 or 4 years, well, you know what? If the company can afford it, okay, because companies are in business to make a profit, okay, if the company can afford it, obviously you want to increase wages for your employees. I mean, the employees are what make up a company. Yes. So there are no laws.
There are no laws.
Unless they're being paid minimum wage, and then the minimum wage is increased yearly.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes, that's it.
This is why Marisol is the manager of Payroll and Human Resources. Good job, Marisol.
Thank you, Brad.
All right.